welcome to Across Louisiana. My name is Steve Sawyer, your host for the show, and we greatly appreciate you taking time to join us today. We've got a wonderful show lined up for you today. Paulina Trujillo, who is the director of the Oak Street Po' Boy Fest, is going to be joining us. She's going to be talking about an incredible Po' Boy Festival that's coming up where you can sample over 40 dishes of po' boys. Chris Zainey, who's the co-chairman of the Young Friends of St. Andrews Village, is going to join us. They've got a great groundbreaking ceremony for their facility coming up. He's going to talk about that. Our good friend John Hopper, who is the Chief Development Officer for the New Orleans City Park, does an incredible job at City Park, is going to be talking about celebration in the Oaks. You know, it's the holiday season when it's celebration in the Oaks. Courtney McKay is going to be with us. Courtney is the marketing coordinator for NOCCI and also the Bayou Classic, and is going to be sharing some information about the Bayou Classic, the football game, and all the wonderful activities that takes place with the Bayou Classic. Again, Steve Sawyer, thank you so much for being with us, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to Across Louisiana. We are very happy to have Paulina Trujillo, who is the director of the Oak Street Po' Boy Festival. Paulina, welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
It's festival time, so we've got festival after festival after festival. I don't think we've had a Po' Boy Festival yet, so this is fantastic information for our audience to learn about. Tell us a little bit about the Po' Boy Festival, when it's going to be, if and where you can get tickets and things like that.
Okay, it's Sunday, November 24th in the Oak Street Business Corridor, so it's from Carrollton to Eagle Street on Oak. And it is a free festival, so everybody's welcome. And the times are 10 a.m., so it's an earlier, come hungry, get your bellies full festival. Yeah. And it goes till about 7 p.m.
Now, I was reading where you've actually got 40 food vendors, so it's a Po' Boy Festival, but obviously there's going to be things other than po' boys at the festival. Yes,
we'll have, every vendor is absolutely going to do at least one po' boy, but they'll have their signature sides or other options, and some vegetarian options too, because most po' boys are meat variety po' boys.
Can you give away any names of vendors who are going to be present that day?
Well, some old favorites. GW Fins is doing their lobster po' boy, the fried lobster po' boy again.
Fried lobster po' boy.
Yeah. Also, one of my favorites is the Ninja soft shell crab tempura po' boy, which is really good.
So everything is centered around the po' boy theme then?
Everything. Okay. It's the Oak Street Po' Boy Festival to showcase the humble New Orleans sandwich.
Now, music, I saw there was going to be like 2 stages.
We have
music.
One main stage at the corner of Eagle and Oak Street, and Rebirth Brass Band is a crowd favorite, is going to be the headliner this year. We also have Johnny Sketch and Dirty Notes, Flow Tribe, Los Poboycitos, and this year we have a band coming in town from Mexico called Vila Seca.
Oh,
so
great.
Spice it up a little bit.
Now, it's one day only.
One day only.
Is there a cost to get in, or is it absolutely free?
Free admission, 100% free. And
is it a fundraiser for any organization, or does the money raised go to any organization to support? Or?
The money raised goes back into the neighborhood.
Okay.
It's produced by the merchants, residents, and property owners of Oak Street called Mr. Poe. Okay. And the money goes back to beautification projects on the street and to safety and stuff like that.
Okay, Paulina, the website is www.poboyfest.com.
That's correct.
All the information on the festival can be found on that website regarding food vendors, music, and so forth.
All of the menus, the music schedules are being updated as we confirm them, and all of the information you need to know is on the website.
Well, listen, best of luck, congratulations, and thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having
Paulina,
me.
Just we'd like to have you come back one day if you don't mind and tell us a little bit about how the festival went.
Absolutely.
And bring a sample of that lobster po' boy. We'd love to have that.
All right, we'll do.
Stay with us, we're going to be right back, and right now we're going to take you to a feature on the March of Dimes Signature Chef's Gala. Stay tuned, and we will be right back.
You know, there's so many things that can go wrong when you're having a baby. You know, all those things run through your head, and it's overwhelming. After my wife had each boy, it was right next to the NICU. You know, I remember, you know, being so happy, and then at the same time feeling so helpless for these sick babies that were right next door.
You know, it's just such a delicate time in their life. When my daughter was born, she was prematurely born. She had some issues. That hit home to me. I was like, what am I going to do?
It can happen to anyone, to anybody. I've been here almost 3 years and I have several associates, employees, cooks who went through that.
Just the amount of people that are affected by children who are born prematurely, whether that's relatives, friends, I think everybody is close to someone who's been affected by that.
It's something that you don't know, you don't plan on that. And when it happens, you are lucky to have organizations like March of Dimes who are able to support you to go through that.
And in that ICU room, I remember they brought in a March of Dimes little purple bag. And I opened that up and I started reading and I said, right, this is good information. This is keeping my feet on the ground.
I think it's a real easy cause to get behind. For my restaurant in particular, we get bombarded with requests all year long, and you have to pick the ones that you really want to be involved with and really want to support. And for me, the March of Dimes is one of those.
I've been very lucky that God gave it to me this wonderful strength to work. I like to work. I like to support some organization. That's one of my favorite organizations, March of Dimes.
It's a good cause for humankind and for babies, but also it's fun.
I think when I'm 49 or 50, I don't know the exact number, but a lot of chefs who's going to be cooking that night. And to see them, to the community, the networking with that and sharing our passion of food with March of Dimes, it's unique.
There is a future. March of Dimes is helping push forward, ensuring that, these babies do have a future and that they will have a chance.
It's a wonderful opportunity to sort of step outside your kitchen and contribute what you can. I may not be able to write a big check, but I can cook some really nice food.
It's a whole world issue. It's not just a man-woman issue, I think. Anything having to do with babies and raising kids is, it's not just women.
I could be saving the next president of the United States of America. I could be saving the next doctor who's going to save me when I'm in my 80s, you dig? So that's why I'm a part of it,
Welcome back to Across Louisiana. Very happy to have Mr. Chris Zainey with us. Chris is the co-chairman of the Young Friends of St. Andrews Village. Chris, congratulations and thanks so much for being on the show today. Appreciate it. I know you've got some big news coming up with a big groundbreaking ceremony you're getting ready to have. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I'm here on behalf of St. Andrews Village today. What St. Andrews Village is, for those in the community who do not know, is it's going to be a faith-based residential and working community for adults with special needs, primarily adults with developmental disabilities. Mm-hmm. And there's really nothing of its kind in Louisiana, much less the Gulf South in general. So what St. Andrews Village will be a place where these special people can live and work and really flourish throughout their lives in a really first-class environment. So it's been the dream of my family and a couple of other families in the area for several years. I have a special needs younger brother named Andrew, and our family and these other families about 12 or 13 years ago got together and decided, look, there's nothing like this in Louisiana, let's build something like this. So generally speaking, that's what St. Andrews Village is. On November 30th, as you alluded to, is the groundbreaking. So after over a dozen years of raising money, we actually can make the dream a reality. So that'll take place on November 30th. On November 22nd, so about 8 days prior, I'm hosting an event at the Chicory in the Warehouse District, which is we've called a Savvy Affair. It was started. I started along with some very close friends about 5 years ago, and this particular event, we have live music. We have food from some of the best restaurants in town. We have a luxury silent auction. It's basically just a great time. And when we started the event, this particular event 5 years ago, it was to try to raise awareness with the younger generation in New Orleans about what St. Andrews Village was and was going to be. And so it's been great to watch that particular event grow as it has. We usually get about 450 to 500 people.
Wow, that's great.
We've raised, with that event alone, I think somewhere in the neighborhood of $300,000. But what's been the most incredible part of that for me is seeing friends of mine and both old and new and people I'm meeting who will come up to me and say, hey, we were at your event, and we've you know, St. Andrews Village sounds like a great thing, and I'm so glad that I've now been exposed to seeing what exactly it is, and I'd love to be more involved in the future. So that's coming up on November 22nd. You can buy tickets online, www.standrewsvillage, SAINT, standrewsvillage.org.
We'll put that on the screen too.
Okay, and so yeah, like I said, live music. You're going to have a great time, if nothing else, but it's for a great cause. So.
And this is a fundraiser.
This is a fundraiser.
I mean, all money goes towards St. Andrews Village, and of course, you're doing your groundbreaking with money that you've raised in the past. Where's the location of the village going to be? The
village is going to be in Abita Springs.
Abita Springs.
And the reason for that, quite frankly, was besides being a beautiful area in and of itself, it's north of the interstate, and it's effectively almost hurricane proof. So it won't. One additional advantage of having it in that particular location is it will be safe. It will be safe from hurricanes.
Yeah, and Chris, on the website you can find out information more about the village, how you can be a part of that, and so forth as well, right?
Absolutely, the website does a great job of really explaining the whole project.
All right. Well, Chris, congratulations on your groundbreaking. I know you're excited about that. We appreciate you coming on the show. Please feel free to come back from time to time. Let us know how everything's going.
I would love to. Thank you for having me.
Chris. Stay with us. When we come back, we're going to have Mr. John Hopper, who is going to be with us. John is the Chief Development Officer for New Orleans City Park, and he has got some exciting things to talk about that's going to be taking at City Park this holiday season. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Across Louisiana again. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today. We're just honored to have Mr. John Hopper. John is the Chief Development Officer for New Orleans City Park. And John, just congratulations on all the incredible stuff you and your team have done to bring that park back. We don't like to talk about Katrina, but we all know what happened to the park. And I will tell you, I think the park is better than ever, and a lot of that is because of you and your staff. You've just done a phenomenal job in bringing that back.
Well, there's a lot of great employees at the park, and there's also a lot of wonderful donors, Cox being one of them, that have helped the park and made it what it is today. And certainly it's a whole lot better than it was.
Well, it's a wonderful, I got to tell you, and we could do a whole show with you, but we want to talk about Celebration in the Oaks. And I will tell you, I've been living in New Orleans now for 24 years. Christmas would not be Christmas without Celebration in the Oaks. So let's talk about what's coming up this year, some new things that you've got on the agenda and so forth.
Sure, there's a lot of tradition tied with Celebration in the Oaks. And our preview party is Friday, November 22nd, 7:30 to 11, $100 in advance, $120 at the door, and food and drink. Go to celebrationintheoaks.com if you want to buy tickets. But if you want to see everything pristine and when it's just put up, not after people have been coming through for 30 days, it's a wonderful way to experience it. And then that following Sunday, we have our family preview party from 5 to 8 p.m., $30 a person for kids, their families, pizza, all these good things that'll get them all jacked up on sugar. But it's a wonderful experience also. And then the regular event runs through November 29th through January 4th. We're closed December 24th and the 31st. We're open Christmas Day. And the main thing, before we start talking about what's happening, is you will do yourself a favor if you go online, celebrationintheoaks.com, buy your tickets, print it out, print your ticket out, and you're going to feel so proud of yourself because when you get there and there's this big long line, you can cut right to the front of the line.
Well, I think that's the key thing, and I can just say the preview party is wonderful because, to your point, it's also not as crowded. And it's a wonderful testament to everything you've done because of the crowds. But the preview party, you get to see everything right as it's been set up. It's not crowded. The other thing is, I can't emphasize enough to print your tickets ahead of time because those lines are long.
They can get long, particularly on the weekends. The other smart thing to do, if you're able to do it with your family, come during the week.
Yeah.
It's not quite as crowded during the week.
So let's talk about what's going to be happening this year with Celebration in the Oaks.
Well, you know, our elves, we have people that are on the payroll year-round making all the displays. And so we don't go to, you know, holidaydisplays.com and buy our stuff. We make it all. So they got quite clever this year. Mr. Bingle, you're going to see him on a flying carpet when you take the train ride. There's a place on the train that has Jackson Square, a mock Jackson Square.
Wow.
There's going to be I Wish You Happy Holidays. So I foresee a leprechaun. There's a place in Storyland where there's astronaut uniforms, and you can stick your head through the face, you know, get your picture taken. So there's a lot of nice things. One at the where is it? At the Japanese garden in the botanical garden, Celebration. And when you see the exhibits and what they have on the wall, all this different sea life with rhinestones and everything else, the phone will be ringing, people saying, you know, where can I buy one of those?
Yeah.
It's that pretty.
Wow. And the Cox Train Depot, I want to throw that in there because the train is fun. Everybody loves the train. I'm so happy that we were able to partner together and get the train depot. We're going to run out of time for this segment, but I want you to promise me you'll come back before the holiday season is over and we talk more about Celebration in the Oaks and all the great things.
I will, and we'll talk about the digis.
The digis are awesome, but again, go online, get those tickets early. You will do yourself the best favor you can because the lines are long and you just walk right through them and everybody's asking, hey, how'd you get in so easy? John Hopper, thank you so much for being here again. Congratulations, and I want you to come back before the holiday season's over and we'll talk more about Celebration in the Oaks. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Across Louisiana. We've got a huge event coming up. Everybody knows the Bayou Classic, and we're just so pleased to have Courtney McKay in the studio with us today. Courtney, you are the marketing coordinator for NOCCI, but also for the Bayou Classic. Is it fair to say you run the Bayou Classic?
We have a team that runs the Bayou Classic.
You have
a great team. Putting in a lot of hard work.
Well, we have talked over the last several weeks about the Bayou Classic events and things like that, other things that go on other than the football game, and we really haven't talked that much about the football game. So let's spend some time and talk about the game and what's going to be happening game day.
Great. It's the 40th year, the 40th annual Bayou Classic, and the two teams, Grambling State University and Southern University, they're going to give it their all right there on the field, and it's always an intense matchup, and everyone knows that when you get to the Bayou Classic, the records don't matter. It's anyone's ball game because it's such an intense rivalry. And we have some exciting things planned this year. We actually have a pregame show, the first time. The bands have decided to give up their pregame time, and we've programmed it out to a show. We'll have legendary rapper and beatboxer Dougie Fresh joining us, and it will be a wonderful experience. So you get a 2-in-1.
Yeah,
you get a show and a game with your ticket.
And listen, the Battle of the Bands, I mean, I'm a football player. I love football, but Battle of the Bands at the Bayou Classic, it's as big as the game.
The Battle of the Bands is as big as the game, and we have two battles of the bands. We have the halftime battle, and we also have the Battle of the Bands and Greek show on Friday night, Friday, November 29th, the day before the Classic at 6 p.m. We're an hour earlier this year. We normally have started at 7. This year we moved it up an hour because we have so many exciting things planned. We will be getting started at 6 p.m. for the Battle of the Bands and Greek show, and the bands are going to do classic sounds of the ages. So we are going to travel through music history for about 40 years of music history.
Wow, that is awesome. And the game is on NBC, carried by NBC.
Yes, the game is on NBC.
Folks that are familiar with Champion Square, there's a lot of activity on Saturday that takes place in Champion Square.
There is a lot of activity in Champion Square. We actually have the Fan Festival presented by Cox, hosted by Q93, and the radio station programs some national talent, and there will be food vendors and art vendors. So Champion Square has so much energy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And listen, the website is www.mybayouclassic.com.
Yes.
And if I go to the website, I mean, there's a lot of events that do take place, so I can find out golf tournament,
Thanksgiving Day
Thanksgiving,
parade, empowerment. There are so many events that take place, and yes, you can find them on mybayouclassic.com, right on the events tab, and you can also order tickets online. When you get to mybayouclassic.com, you can click on the Order Yours Now tab.
Nothing in Champion Square requires a ticket. Everything's open to the public.
Everything in Champion Square is free and open to the public. We have vendors that are there selling food and clothing, but everything is free and open to the public. So just before the game, stop by Champion Square, see some of the national acts, and then head on, get your tickets, and head on to the game.
Now let me ask real quick before our time runs out. I just read where Southern University, the football team, and we know they're having a great year this year, but they won something that was pretty big.
Southern University is headed to the SWAC championship this year. So congratulations.
Is that a first time for them? Or?
It is not a first time for them, but I'm sure the fan base is very excited.
Well, Courtney, thank you so much for being on the show. And again, we look so forward. We always do look forward to the Bayou Classic. It's such a wonderful family event. I'm so happy and proud that Cox is a part of it this year. So again, I can't thank you enough for all the partnership that we've had together. You're great to work with. All the team at NOCCI is just wonderful to work with. So we look forward to celebrating an incredible 40th anniversary for
That's
the Bayou
right,
Classic.
and we'll see you there, right?
You will see me there. www.mybayouclassic.com. There's so much to this that Courtney and I can't even talk about today. But I urge you to go online. You get information for all the events that are taking place. It's a wonderful way to spend the Thanksgiving holiday. You've been watching Across Louisiana. We greatly appreciate it, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.